Well, hey, this is Rhonda Simmons, the founder and CEO of the Simmons Empowerment Foundation. And welcome to another edition of Empowered Heart to Heart. Now, y'all already know what I'm about to say. I am so excited. Oh, my goodness. I had no idea when I started this podcast a year and a half ago that I would be able to meet and interview and interact with wonderful people from all over the world who are doing great things. I'm just amazed at the people that I've met. And I like to say I've met some of the best people this side of heaven, and today is no exception. So before I introduce our speaker, got a little housekeeping. First of all, I need you to like, comment, and share this video if you're watching on our YouTube channel. Let somebody know what you're watching, that we're here and that we're on. And also subscribe because you want to be notified every single time that I post a new video, and I post often. So you don't want to miss a single piece of content that I put out because great things are happening and I want you to be a part of it. Also, connect with us on our social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. We all have the same handle of tsefi.org. No, wait, there's no dot. TSEFIORG. That's our social media handle: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Make sure you connect with us. And you, of course, there's always our website that you can go to at www.tsefi.org. There's our office number, our email address. So there is no such thing as you cannot get in contact with us. So reach out to us, let us know in some way, shape, or form that you are listening and that you like what we're doing and what we're all about. Because I promise you, in every single episode, you're going to hear messages of hope, or conversations that heal, or interviews that empower. And so we're going to get this party started today because I am super duper excited because I have a special guest with me today. And I want you to remember this name because you're going to hear about her. And I've got a secret at the end to tell you about my guest. And so I'm just going to bring her right into the room right now. And I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Tracey J. Johnson. Hello, Dr. Johnson. How are you?
I'm good. Hello. I'm so excited to be able to be a part of this podcast. I've been looking forward to it for a couple of weeks. And so now we're here. And thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being a part of our vision and a part of what's happening, because I believe in connecting people and finding out that there are other people doing great things in the world that we can, reach out to and provide additional resources. So thank you for being here today. And I understand, Dr. Johnson, that you are a holistic life coach. Can you tell us a little bit more about your practice and how you got started?
Well, my business is called Open Heart World, and the mission is to assist in restoring the power of love into the heart of humanity. So everything that I do points to making an effort to actually bring forth the manifestation of that mission and the vision that God has given me. So it's a huge undertaking, but I'm not alone because you're one of the individuals that's helping to get that out there to bring that forth as well.
Well, I tell you, what an awesome mission. You remind me of that old song, "What the world needs now is love."
Yes,
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 I'm
that's it.
I'm not gonna start singing, but you know the song, because if we loved one another,
Yes,
there'd be a whole lot less crime, whole lot
yes,
less hate and racism, and just there'd be so many things wouldn't exist if love were in the
yes,
forefront. And
yes, yes,
so
yes.
how do you do that? How do you get people to manifest more love?
Well, one of the things that I've done as a result of my journey and my course studies that I've taken, I created something that's called the AIR heart scan process. And AIR points to, it's like the acronym AIR. And we all know we can't breathe without air. So that was one of the things that came to me. And when I refer to that, it's about the power of love. So AIR is A is abundance, points to abundance. I is inner journey, and R is relationship. So I focus on the areas that affect us the most on our journey here in our experience, right? And so the heart scan process is where when I'm working with my clients or doing a workshop, which I can share the exciting workshop that I'm doing now, is to assist individuals with identifying the emotional blocks that's keeping them from experiencing who they truly are, their power, their purpose, whatever it is that they're desiring to experience as a result of what they've discovered about themselves and what they desire to again experience on their journey. So the heart scan process is, it's like 3 steps. The first part, and each step is has 12. I call, the first part is 12 layers of love, which points to the experience and the manifestation of love within your heart. So, like for example, I'll give peace is a layer of love, and power is a layer of love, and passion is a layer of love, and forgiveness is a layer of love. So there's 12 of those, right? So the first part is for me to assist you by connecting with your heart to identify which layer of love needs your attention. So I'll give an example. So if you don't have peace in your heart, then your heart's going to reveal to you that peace, it needs your attention. And so once that we identify that first part, for example, peace, then the next step is to identify what is the emotional block that's keeping you from experiencing peace. So there's 12 emotional blocks that was given to me to use in terms of the process, like anger, frustration, bitterness, those things of that nature, right? And then the last part is, I'll call it what your heart is calling for, the call to love, the way in which you need to demonstrate love to yourself in order to clear that emotional block. So, for example, if your layer of love is peace and your heart reveals to you that anger is keeping you from experiencing peace, whether it be in the area of abundance, and we're not just talking about financial abundance, we're talking about abundance across the board. So if we say abundance, what's affecting you experience the abundance of peace, or if your inner journey, you're having challenges with experiencing you and your power, or even in a relationship. So if your heart is saying that anger is keeping you from experiencing peace within either one of those dynamics, then what your heart will reveal to you is, like I call it, also the call to action. So one of the call to actions, it's 12 of them, and I had to go through the process myself. So that's how it came to about in terms of the different action steps that my heart revealed to me that I needed to take. And one of the main ones that my heart gave me was make choices and decisions that's in alignment with who you are, what's important to you, and what resonates within your heart. So once I began to do that, whatever the emotional block that my heart was revealing to me that was keeping me from experiencing peace, when I started lining up with that call to action or that step that I need to take, then my life shifted and I began to have peace within that area. So that's one of the ways that I assist my clients on their journey.
Well,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. That is wonderful, Dr. Tracy. So, what made you choose this particular line of work and coaching? What's your why?
So, and I'm sure this was you happened with you as you continue on your journey and not even having a clue when I was growing up and I was in my 20s or whatever. People would always come to me to, share their issues that they're having, seeking advice, and I would always somehow, some way would have the answer, but now I understand where it was coming from. But it if you pay attention to the things that you attract into your life, whether it be people, places, or things, and the passion that you have in your heart. Like I always love helping people or giving them advice or helping them through, things that they may have been having challenges with. And so that was one of the reasons why. I mean, I didn't have any kind of degree at the time, or I just, people would call me and ask me to pray. All the time. Like I would be at work and I'll get a call from a coworker in another department, and I would meet them in the closet so that we could pray. And I would always would have answers and solutions to what they were going through. It was really funny. But one of the things that caused me to enter into the realm of being a coach was, when I was a little girl, my family is very creative on so many different levels. And in the summertime, my aunt would just teach me and my cousins how to create little crafts, and I would go door to door and sell them to the neighbors, and make 10 cents per little thing and have money to buy candy. So I was an entrepreneur from the age of 10. And so as I continued on, I took classes, entrepreneur classes with going to the school or different trainings. And so one of the things that I went through, it was called Goodwill Business Now program, where they took us through a process. And I was young, took us through a process and how to create your business plan. And so at the end, they would evaluate our business plans. But moving forward, I end up being one of the individuals that evaluated business plans for the students that came after me. And so I started, after from that point, I became a business coach. And so when I would coach my clients, I would come to the point where, okay, your business is an extension of you, and you have a lot of challenges going on in your world. So we need to get you straight first, and then your business will shift and change. So that's how I end up being a life coach. So I would coach my clients on every area of their life, like anything that was going on, whether it be in the relationships or their spouse or their kids. I have clients where I started coaching them when their kids were in high school. Now they've graduated from college. So it's, and that's where I ended up. So I wrote a book. So I'm a speaker, not just the life coach, but I do a lot of things, like I said, that points to assisting in helping others to restore love in their heart. And when I talk about love, I'm talking about your power, because God is love, and that's the greatest power that we have and can ever experience. So I know that
Absolutely.
was a long answer, huh?
It is okay. It is okay. You were being your authentic self, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited that you're doing this work. Now, do you coach in person or virtually or a hybrid version?
Well, when in the beginning, I mean, I would coach in person and then over the phone and virtually. But at this point, what I've been called to do, and I heard loud and clear, instead of just coaching one on one, now it's one to many. So that's how I develop my workshops, and then also when I'm invited to speak and to do wonderful, awesome summits that I'm going to be a part of. So that's what I'm doing at this point, is more so doing one to many. Yes.
Okay. So now I've got to reveal the secret since you mentioned it.
Oh, I didn't know that was a secret. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
well,
I'm
it was
sorry.
no, no, no. It was fine. I was going to tell it anyway. I was saving it till the end, but since you mentioned summits, let me just let the audience in on that really good piece of information here, and that is that Dr. Johnson will be one of our VIP speakers at our upcoming Dear Future Me Women's Empowerment International Summit. I am so excited. Woohoo! And I'm excited that Dr. Johnson will be a part of it. It's happening next month, August 18th and 19th. Don't tell me you're not available because it's virtual. So
Yes.
you've got to roll over and push play. We will be live. It's not pre-recorded. We will be live. So you want to be in the room. And I'll talk more about the summit later. But Dr. Johnson, now that you have our attention, you fully have our attention. We want to know, what are you bringing to the summit that you haven't shared already? Um, but don't let everything out the bag.
Almost not everything, just
Yeah,
only a
not
little
everything. Yeah,
part.
just a little bit. So let us know, what is it going to be like being in a workshop with you? What are you going to have? What are you going to offer?
Well, my workshop points to you falling in love with you. It's not about anything outside of you, no person, no people, no places, no things. And the workshop title is called Your Heart is Calling You. Your
Yeah,
heart is calling you. And so I wrote a book called Broken Open, a truthful journey into your heart. So you're going to be taking a journey into your heart. And so when we talk about your, a message to your future self, it's like the basis of it is that the love that you've been looking for is inside of you. And so you're going to have an opportunity. When I say it's only about you, you're going to build a relationship with your heart. You'll have opportunity to really go to the next level of connecting. Most often, like when we wake up in the morning, if we have children or husband, significant other, we say good morning to everybody, but we don't stop and take an opportunity to just say good morning to you. This is going to be something that's going to change your life forever. It's about you being, I always say, hyper aware of your inner space, because when you're in tune to what's going on inside of you, because I always tell my clients and those who participate in the workshops that, when I say the love that you're looking for is inside of you, because if you don't go within, you go without. So often we have been taught, as we haven't been taught how to love ourselves. But one of the things that I used to hear all the time is that you're looking for love in all the wrong places. And I used to say, I hated to hear that statement, or
cliche.
people telling me that, because it's like, well, that's what I'm choosing. I choose love, and it's outside of me, not inside of me. Like when we're growing up and we're young and we don't understand the dynamics, or haven't been through relationships or heartbreaks and things of that nature, we're just looking for somebody else to love us. But it's at that, you get to a point where after you've been disappointed and disillusioned in terms of different relationships or things that you've gone through, and you just get tired. And that's where I was. And so now I help others to have an encounter with love from the inside out. And that's what it's going to be all about. And I walk my talk, and my life has totally changed. You will, after your experience of the entire summit, I'm sure it's going to change your life forever. But if you participate in the workshop, your life will never be the same. And I can say that if you practice what it comes forth in the workshop, then you will experience life on a whole nother level, for sure.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Wow, wow,
yes.
that is fantastic. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about all this. While you were talking, I was thinking, what are some of the behaviors that people manifest when they don't love themselves?
Uh, a lot, like when you don't love yourself, if we go back to what I shared earlier, in terms of what my heart revealed to me, making choices and decisions that's in alignment with who you are and what's important to you and what resonates in your heart. When you don't love yourself, you go along to get along. You make choices and decisions that you feel that's going to please others, or make choices and decisions that is out of alignment with who you truly are, because you don't have like some people don't have a clue, and that's no judgment. It's just that we've been taught to look outside of ourselves on our journey to, in terms of success, and in terms of, success across the board, and relationships, and, our jobs, our careers, and things of that nature. So when you don't love yourself, you don't make choices and decisions that's in alignment with who you are. And then you don't know who you are fully. Because when you love yourself, that's when your heart opens to receive. right? When you love yourself, that's what I always say, is your heart open to receive, because then you receive the information from the inside, right? Because can't no one can tell you, no one can tell you what, feel what you feel. No one can, you can only feel what you feel. Some people might say I can relate to what you're feeling, but they can't totally feel what you feel. And only you know what makes your heart smile, right? Only you will be able to be fully, totally clear in terms of what makes your heart smile. Someone might do something for you and it might make you feel good or make you smile, but that doesn't, you are the only one that can discover that. So when you don't love yourself, you're looking for love in all the wrong places, looking outside of yourself. That's when you don't love yourself. You make choices and decisions that has nothing to do with what's important to you or what will bring forth the full manifestation of what you came here to experience. And that's a big thing.
Wow, Dr. Tracy, let me tell you, you brought back memories for me because I can remember a time in my life many years ago where I suffered from what I call approval addiction. Just
Mm,
there were
mm-hmm.
key people in my life. It wasn't that I was seeking the approval of everybody because I didn't care that much, but
Right,
but there
right.
were some key people in my life whose opinions mattered to me,
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy ways, to the point where, I was making myself sick, throwing up in trash cans, because I had disappointed the person, or, they weren't
Right.
what I did. And to be perfectly honest, what really started my healing process was a Bible verse.
Mm,
And that Bible verse is in Numbers, I believe, chapter 14, that says, "If God delights in me, then he'll bring me into the land that flows with milk and honey." And the thought occurred to me after I read that, if I focused more on pleasing God than I do pleasing people, I think I'm going to be okay.
yes.
You
Yes.
know, and it's interesting because that helped me in that moment. But don't you know, I found myself right back at that same point years later.
Mm,
Um, when I, yeah, well, years later, without going into a whole lot of detail, but it came to the point where I had to realize, oh, I'm not committing some sin here. I'm just doing what you don't like. Huge.
right.
And
Yes.
I was like, "Oh, I can live with disappointment. Been there, done that. Okay, we'll be all right."
Right.
And I just went on.
Yes.
It changed
Yes.
my entire outlook. It really deflated all of the tension and anxiety that I had been encountering once I had that realization that, I'm not committing an act that God would not be pleased with. I'm simply doing what you don't like, and I'm okay
Yes.
with that. You know,
Yes.
and I know that may sound kind of harsh, but I had
No.
I had to be healed and free of that. And so I totally get what you're saying, and everything that you just said brought back all those memories. And I just have to
Yes.
share.
And like the biggest thing, like when you say, the when you don't love yourself, it comes all, everything boils down to a choice. Every
Mhm.
single thing boils down to a choice. And like when you talk about the scripture, one of the scriptures in the Bible that I always share is that God said, I place before you every day life and death, blessing and curses. You choose, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we make it so difficult, because if we stop and we be still, if we're still just for a moment before we make a choice and say, is this going to bless me or is this going to curse me? Is this going to bring life or is it going to bring death? And we're not talking about literal, but if you are in tune and aware of your heart is going to reveal to you, if you just be still and you pay attention,
Mhm.
right? Your heart will reveal to you whether or not this is and when I'm talking about the heart, I'm talking about that part of you that is one with God, the totality of all that is, right? That's your connection. I'll call that the gate, the where you enter into the gate, right? And
Yes.
so one of the things that I share with my clients in terms of the manner in which you can get to a place where you are in tune or hyper aware of your inner space, I give them like 4-step process. Like when you're experiencing something, like if you made a choice and you're having an experience that you no longer choose to have, if it's not bringing you joy or peace or being in alignment with what I call the 12 layers of love, then you stop. You acknowledge what, first you stop, then you acknowledge what you're experiencing. You
Mhm.
accept it. You don't push up against it. You don't judge yourself for it. You don't beat yourself up for, okay, I'm angry again. I let this person trigger me or whatever the case may be. And then you love yourself through it. So like if we go back to the 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 heart scan process, remember that call to action that will be revealed to you at the end is the manner in which you love yourself. So if you're in a place where you're not experiencing what you choose to experience, and we go back again to the main one that my heart revealed to me, make choices that are in alignment with who you are. But you
Yeah.
have to first of all know who you are, and the way you are able to clearly define that is by being connected to the inner part of you. And
Yes.
that's why it's all about the journey. Inward.
Yes.
The
Yes.
inward journey. That's it. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. I'm telling you, this summit is going to be so powerful. I am so super excited and I'm glad that you're a part of it because you're bringing value to the summit. You're adding that value. This is not just a gathering of women, to have a
Mhm.
little spill the tea. This is
Mhm.
real life, real talk. And
Yes.
um, like I've said before, you know, I, I'm all about church. I'm all about God. I'm an associate pastor. I get it, but um, outside of that, people are dealing with real issues. I don't care if
Yes.
it's the pulpit or the pew, or not in church at all. People are dealing with real issues, and they
Yes.
need to know, how do I overcome this? How
Yes.
do I grow from this? Unfortunately, we can't undo the past. God knows, if I had the power to do it, I would wipe away all the hurt and all the trauma that people have been through. I, I To hear people's testimonies and stories of where they've been and what they've experienced can be very heartbreaking, that one human being could inflict so much pain on another. Um,
Yes.
but we don't have the power to undo the past. What's
Right.
done is done, good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's done.
Yes. Yes.
The only thing we have to deal with now is, how do I address the current trauma, the current emotion surrounding that, and how do I get to the next level and grow from it? And
Yes.
that's really the heart of the summit. Dear future me, you know,
Yes.
I'm the type of person, I never want to accept that this is all there is to life. It
Right.
it, it can't get any better. This is all there is. Honest to goodness, who wants to live like that? There's got to be more, Dr. Tracy.
Oh, yes, for sure. And that's the reason why when I share with, even like when you talk about the past and trauma that we've been through, and one of the things, another call to action or what your heart is calling for, is I always tell my clients that the only reason why you need to visit the past is to glean wisdom from it, and that's it. It's about letting go and allowing the love to flow from within you and to experience it from the inside out. Because what I always tell my clients, that love moves everything out the way that's not like it.
Yeah,
Everything out the way. So if you've been through a traumatic experience, we know, that, and I believe with all my heart, and I always use this scripture as well, that all things, work together for our good. It
Yeah.
may not feel like it, but it does. And like my book is called Broken Open, a truthful journey into the heart. And I always tell my clients so that my those who participate or I share with is that we can look at things from a different perspective, not from a perspective in terms of the trauma and the things that caused our hearts to be broken, because most often we say our hearts are broken. But I say that your heart is broken open so that the treasure that's within your earthen vessel can come forth. So that's where, for me, when my heart was broken open or was broken, I would always, because I was always going through some kind of emotional pain, and I used to avoid my heart like the plague. But when I shift my perspective to see it from a place where it worked for my good, and that it was working for my good, and that my heart was broken open so that I can experience all that I am and were created to be. Because now my heart is open so that it can always, I think about it when I think about being broken open, it's like it's oozing out of my heart. It's that love that's coming through. It's like you experience the love of God because God is the one that's carrying you and keeping you in the midst of what we call the storm, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it does. And like I believe it all everything works out for me. And because I stand on that the word and the truth, that it all, even if we can't see it in the moment, but
Yeah.
once you get on the
Yeah.
other side and you look at it and you glean the wisdom from that experience. My book came as a result of my heart, quote unquote, being broken. But I saw the greater aspect and greater part or the greater purpose in which God had given that to me, because now those individuals who experience and read the book or experience what I've been through, then their lives are changed and transformed because I'm a testament. Okay.
Yes.
I told my manager, I said, I am the creator of my reality because it's based on the choices and decisions that I make. And guess what? I'm proud of what I created. I'm proud of what I created. So, you know what, ladies, who's ever listening, I'm going to teach you how to create your reality so you can be proud of what you created if you're not at this point in time. So just come on, come on, come on.
Yes, yes, that is fantastic, Dr. Tracy. I'm so excited because you are going to bring the fire to this summit, and I am so super duper excited. It's going to be epic. And I'm so
Yes.
glad that you're a part of it because it wouldn't be the same without you. And the value, that's the word I'm trying to drive home. This is not a chit chat. This is not just, girlfriends meeting over coffee, although you're more than welcome to bring your coffee to the virtual
Yes.
room.
Yes.
Uh, but you're going to be equipped and empowered
Yeah.
to deal with where you are and get to
Mm-hmm.
the next level. So the value is there. And that's why I encourage people, get the VIP pass because that's where all the magic happens. Because with the VIP pass, you get a backstage session with Dr. Tracy and the other VIP speakers after the summit is over. And you get that one-on-one Q&A with the VIP speakers that the rest of the attendees won't get. You also get a digital swag box, which includes many of the materials that the summit speakers have presented. And Dr. Tracy has prepared something just for you, and you're
Yes.
not going to get it if you don't get the VIP pass. I'm so sorry. So you
Sorry.
gotta get the VIP pass because it's valuable. That's why we're not releasing it, for free because there's so much value, value to the point that it will change your life. What good
Yes.
is it to attend a summit and sit there for however many hours if you're not going to be changed? I,
Yes.
I'm at a stage in my life, Dr. Tracy, where I think my biggest pet peeve, among many, my biggest pet peeve is wasting my time because
Yes.
I now realize that is the one thing I don't get back. You know,
That's
you
that's
lose
so
money,
true.
you can get that back. Just get a job and work, you can get the money back. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm looking for things that will maximize my time and provide valuable, life changing information that if I apply it, there's that choice part. If I
Yes,
apply what you are putting out, then I can be forever changed. And
yes.
so that's what I'm looking for. And it's going to be a power packed summit. It's going to be awesome. Awesome.
And we're not just saying it just to get you to register, because I believe with all my heart, because we prayed the prayer, right? And like I said, assisting and restoring the power of love into the heart, back into the heart of humanity. And just like Miss Rhonda said, we there's so much going on in this world that's causing our heart to be heavy. But if you come to the summit, I believe with all of my heart that your heart will be free, set free. And that's that's
Absolutely.
that's my intention and goal, is to help you do that. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Dr.
Yeah.
Tracy, for being on the show today. I'm just so thrilled and so humbled and honored that you're going to be with us and for your time here on the podcast. So if you will just hang out just for a minute, I'm going to wrap up this episode with the audience and I'll be right back with you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. This summit, this is not fluff. If you want some cutesy sugar coated message, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is not the summit for you. This is the summit for people who want change, number one, and number two, are willing to do the work to get the change. Having the one two is great, but you've got to add some feet to that want to. It's kind of like the pre summit pop up workshop that's coming up July the 31st to get us ready and pumped up for the summit. I'm going to be talking about giving your goals feet. We can make a to do list, we can have goals and visions and dreams and all that. All that's great. That's wonderful. But if you never put them into action, then all you have is a wish list. And life is too short to be satisfied with a wish list. Get to the summit. This is where you need to be. You need to be in the room because I believe with all my heart that you're going to receive some valuable information from Dr. Tracey J. Johnson and from the other speakers. We have 18 international speakers for this summit from all across the United States, from Canada, Slovenia, Costa Rica, Barbados. We have people who are going to help you. They're not here just because they want to have something to say and they have nothing else to do. They're here because they have an assignment and they're on a mission to help as many people and empower as many people as they possibly can. As they say in church, will there be one? Won't that be you? You need to be in the room at the summit. I'm going to be there, of course, because I'm the host, but Dr. Johnson's going to be there and so many other speakers. You want to be in the room. Click the link somewhere around this video or in the description of the podcast to get your ticket and to reserve your spot at this virtual summit. You need to be in the room. If you're listening on our radio station, KRGN 98.5, go to my website at www.tsefi.org so that you can get your tickets and you can find the link. It's right there on the pop up. As soon as you go to the website, the pop up. So there is no excuse. You can do this. Yes, you can. Get the VIP pass so that you can get all the extra value that's being put out. It's already ready and it's time. It's time. Don't let 2023 end the way it started. We need to end this year on a high note, on another level, on a higher level, equipped with more knowledge, wisdom, and application to our lives. So I'm looking for you at the Dear Future Me Women's Empowerment International Summit, August the 18th and 19th. That's a Friday evening and a Saturday. I'm looking for you in the room. I'll see you then. But until then, be blessed, be encouraged, and most of all, be empowered.